Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. That's hilarious. I saw a Elon Musk tweet. I wish I was as dumb and happy about being dumb as Elon Musk is. I feel like that. I feel like that's like a. It's a shame he's evil.
I
Like
don't
he is
know if he's
evil.
happy. That man is always on ket. Like, that man is on at
Yeah,
least 5 different drugs at once.
but like I don't know. He has this like I I don't know if you ever saw the Donald Glover comedy special, but Donald Glover talked about how children are the happiest and also the meanest and worst human beings alive because they lack empathy and sympathy.
Mhm.
I think that's just him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm sorry. I read a tweet as we start recording. This has nothing like that. He's irrelevant to this podcast, so I apologize. I haven't brought him up, but I'm just like, damn, like this guy, like he just plays with forks, and people are like fucking kisses at like it's crazy. I don't know. What
Yeah.
a
He really paid The Simpsons to, like, suck him off for half an hour, and that is the most insane thing anybody has ever done. Like, how
he did that for fucking The Big Bang Theory too.
Yeah,
Like
like how
this is a
deeply
regular
insecure are
thing.
you? You've paid 2 television shows to gas
He
you
was
up.
in Iron
That is
Man
so
too.
sad. That is so sad. Anyway, head on over to the 5-star-network.com for all the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5-Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as Actors Stage and No Limit Wrestling, all go up. If you haven't seen the last No Limit Wrestling, I'd say you should, because it was very funny. Xavier crashed the fuck out to end the show, and it was pretty magnificent. Um, and yeah, that's
Yeah, it was.
Dylan has something to plug though. Yeah.
Yeah, the No Limit was great, and I think everybody should go check it out. But yeah, I have finally finished my long-awaited article. Haven't released an article in a year. Last time I released an article was about the beauty pair. And this time around, I have finally finished it. By the time you are listening to this, it should be out, or it will be out this like today. Because I released the trailer for it on my Twitter when we're recording this, like a couple hours ago. So tomorrow, I plan on letting it out around the same time that this will air. It is about my favorite movie called Millennium Actress. It is a anime movie by Satoshi Kon, and it is also about Io Shirai versus Utami Hayashishita, and Utami's long winding road to in chasing Io Shirai and her very apparent love for Io Shirai. Kind of reminded me of my favorite movie, so I wrote about both of them. I'm calling it a double feature. The article's called "Love Letters to the Sky," and yeah, it'll be out. So I think everybody should read it. Alex hasn't read it yet. He will be reading it when it comes out, hopefully, if he's a good friend. Um, but
You're
Scott
asking a
has
lot of me
read
there
it.
to retweet it and read it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
you're
But
putting me to the
Scott
test
has
here.
read it. Scott really liked it, so I have at least one thumbs up that isn't just random rambling nonsense about nothing. So yeah,
All
go read
right.
it at rightdylanwright.substack.com. I think. It's right down right
Yes.
on Substack. I think it's .substack.com, but if you know how Substack work, my Substack is right down right. So go check that out, and hopefully you like it. Tell me if you like it, and also go to my
I'm sure
Twitter
they
and check
will.
out the trailer because
Yes,
I
that was
put that
good.
together like in an hour. It's impossible to download old Stardom World shit though. It is so fucking annoying.
Hmm.
Um, because the way that the video player works is just a fucking pain in the ass. but so I probably won't be doing too many old Stardom edits and videos from here on out. I'll stick to the new ones you can find on YouTube. But yeah, it took a long time to write, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
I'm sure they will.
And
You're
also, I will
usually
probably be I oh, go ahead, compliment me, please.
you're usually good at writing, in fairness.
Yeah, I'm all right. And I'll also be doing a The Sims 2 live stream on my Twitch channel at some point. Maybe this week, maybe a year from now, I don't know, but that's something that I will be doing. Um, that is in the
Okay.
works.
Up to a lot of stuff.
The Sims
Well,
2 specifically. It's a great
The
game.
Sims 2 specifically, I like 3 better. I won't lie to you.
I love 3, but I grew up playing The Sims 2 on PS2, and it had a
Right.
story mode. Um,
Yeah.
so that's what I will be playing if and when I
Okay.
play it.
That's
Where
pretty
you have to
awesome.
through different like you're like living in it. It's really cool. I
Yeah,
never
they
finished it,
took it
so I would
from
like to finish it now.
busting out. They basically copied the busting out
Yes,
formula.
and that's
Yeah,
all right.
I remember that.
It was fun.
Okay. Well, have fun with that. We should get on to Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom because they are up to a
It'll be
lot.
the entire show.
Yes. On the 29th, or no, not the 29th, the 19th of March on Sendai Girls, the top of Joshi Wrestling in front of an announced house of 3,520 in the Yoyogi National
I
Gymnasium
don't know
number
why they
2.
lied. It was at least 3,500.
Yeah, I don't know. I just Velgate was like that venue does not sit 3,500 people, and I
It
thought
does. It
Mako
literally
lying on the
does.
way out would be legendary. So I choose to believe she lied because it's really funny. Like wrestlers lie all the time, and it is incredible. So whether they lied or not, I don't care. But it would be funny if they did.
I
Now
bro,
we
I believe everybody.
okay, that's good. Good for you. Even Dragon Gate.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we have the Sendai Girls Junior Championship. Aya Sakura beat Chi-Chi to win the Sendai Girls Junior title in a 10-minute match. Pretty surprising. I didn't think they would give Aya the Sendai belt, especially
Oh, I did.
because she's can only realistically drop to Yuna, and I'm not sure Yuna is
Well,
ready
no,
for that.
she could drop to anybody who can then drop to Yuna.
Can she though? I mean, Eureka Oka's
Yeah.
not gonna fight for this
Not
thing.
Oka. I don't
It's
think she's
literally
dropping
just
it to a
Chi-Chi,
Sendai
Aya, and
girl.
Yuna. Well, I
I, I,
guess. Maybe Chica?
I,
They might like Chica. The new
hmm?
Chica, not Chica Goto.
I was gonna say I don't think she's working Aya
No,
Sakura anytime soon.
there's one in Evo. Her name is Chica.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah, but like I could see an Evo girl taking it, or I could see pretty much anybody in the Jaju Uma tournament. Let's get Spike back in there. You know what I mean? Bring
Oh
her
yeah.
back. I don't know. I could see a lot of people. I could see Chi Chi even taking it back and then losing it to
Mm,
Yuna.
maybe.
Um, yeah, I could see a lot of things. I thought this match was weaker than their previous,
Oh
than
yeah,
the
January was way better. The crowd
the
did
one in
not give a
January.
shit, which really hurt. Like Chi was
Yeah,
dying
I
for
thought this was
business and
still
trying to get
quite good.
a rally, but they weren't giving her anything.
I thought this was still very good, but I do think that their previous outing was better. But yeah, I'm happy for Aya. Aya is one of the highlights in Stardom right now. And
Hmm.
that's kind of wild to think, but she really is. And so I'm happy she kind of got a pretty looking belt. I really love the Sendai Junior belt. I think it's like pink straps you wouldn't think would work so well, but that is like a beautiful like it just fits. It's a very pretty
It's
belt.
good. I like the
Um,
Sendai designs. They're
yeah, I mean the Sendai
very
belts in general
nice.
are very nice. But yeah, I'm happy for her. This frees up Chi Chi at least for a minute to challenge for the tag belts with Sari. Very cool. Um, yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy
Right,
generally. I thought the match was solid.
that's good. We then went on to the Sendai Girls Tag Team Championship. Red Energy defended against Hanako and Maika in 12 minutes. One of them pinned Hanako. I think it was Iwata.
It was.
And this was a pretty good match. This was a lot better than I was expecting. Even Hanako, I thought,
Mm.
had a pretty standout performance. But Maika and Iwata work really, really well together. I would love to see more from Mika and Maika because I thought they worked really well together. But yeah, even Hanako, I thought like was up to stuff here, which hasn't happened often in this tag team run. But she stood up here, and fair play to her.
Yeah, I thought Hanako was all right. I thought this match was good as well. I felt like this entire show, Sendai Girls the Top. I liked it, but I did feel like outside of the main, everything was a bit. It had a glass ceiling on it, including this one.
Yeah, it was a weird
Um,
show.
yeah, no, I thought it was like consistent. Like I don't think anything was bad. I thought the opener was short, unfortunately. Could have been better, but other than that, I thought everything was like pretty sound. Including this match. I did like Micah's stuff here. I think Micah is so fascinating because sometimes if you maybe she's just like the worst house show, like house show wrestler right now. Um, 'Cause like I'm trying to figure out like what went wrong with me and Micah, and I think it's
It
that
stuck with
I haven't.
EXV, in fairness, but
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
it's
think they're helping.
EXV is more of is more like it's more of an EXV issue than a Micah issue, and also I thought that her 5 star was just kind of weak, and since then she hasn't done anything outside of an
Yeah,
Asuka match, which is awesome. But it was a weak 5 star, a worse tag league run, and since then she has just been uh get Hanako over. So I think that's the problem with Micah right now. Is that's why I think she's kind of boring. But when she turns it on, like she's still very good, and I still quite like her. Such as this against Mika, I thought that was a lot of fun. Um, I mean, same with Mika and Takase. I think they both kind of have had weird
well, dude,
times
Takase
lately.
is like a roller coaster. She upsets
Yeah,
me greatly.
I mean, like sometimes she just like clicks less often now
Much
than
less often, yeah.
like a while ago. Like even like post injury, it's been rough this entire time, the past few years. But I think she clicks like she really locks in less now than she ever has, unfortunately. Um, but usually it comes in the way of these red energy tags. So I was happy with this one. I didn't think it was anything insane. I mean, the problem is Sendai Girls had like one of the best starts to their year with the tag titles with
Mhm.
Momo Momo Bobo Banana. Wait, Bobu Bobu Momo Banana? I always get them fucked up. Uh they had one of the best starts to any tag team titles like in a long time earlier this year. So they're kind of chasing the dragon here, unfortunately, but I still thought it was good.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, yeah, pretty fair. We
You fucked
then
with Mako and Hash, yeah? I liked it.
oh, it was awesome. Yeah, one of the
Yeah,
best matches of the year.
I quite liked it. I think I still have it below Mako and Saori, which I liked a bit more.
That is fascinating. I think it was a lot
Yeah.
better. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, we then go on to
Still great though.
WrestleMania week stuff because Stardom is very active on WrestleMania week. Starlight Kid and Azumi are teaming up to take on Rocca and or no, not Rocca, Konami and Natsuko Tora on Dragon Gate USA. Also on that show is Hyan and Charisma versus Wingori. So
Who was
two,
Charisma? I've never.
she's like a local shindy girl. Even I don't think she's that good, and you know me with random indie women's wrestlers, so
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of hope for that one.
I
Hyan,
have never seen her before, so like
yeah,
I don't co-sign what you said because I don't know.
okay.
She might rule and you're just a baby, but
No,
yeah,
I
I've
have had
I've
somebody
never
message
heard of
me
her.
who was like, "No, she's pretty awful." So, I don't know.
Oh, bro.
Um, Hyan has been announced for a match with Azumi on a prestige show on the 12th. So Azumi
Hmm.
must be going over early, because that's not WrestleMania week. That's like the week before, the week before maybe.
Maybe she'll. Oh yeah, it's a whole wait. Yeah, that's a whole week before.
And
Maybe
maybe
she'll
I'm wrong,
do.
but it did look like the 12th on the tweet. So, but maybe I misread. But that is Azumi versus Hyan, which is a good match. I like Hyan. I think
I
her
like
with the
Hyan as
Japanese
well.
wrestlers is very good. Um, so that's pretty chill.
She also
Um,
is very well acquainted with like May Sarah, so they have a mutual.
yeah, that's true. Um, there was I think Hanukkah was announced for a Texas indie show
New
randomly.
Texas
So
Pro, I
yeah,
believe.
New
Yeah.
Texas Pro. I don't know when that is because I'm pretty sure they are running in Vegas, but I don't know if it was for their Vegas show or a different one.
It is
Um,
April 12th in Portland. So yeah, Zumi's going to be
okay.
there for like a while. Um,
Interesting.
so you might want to look out for her on a AEW show because AEW does like her specifically.
Yes, that's true. That's true. They do need another body for Monet probably to beat. Um, also during Mania week, Suzuki is challenging Masha Slamovich for the JCW Championship on Joey Janela's spring break. Um, I mean, I'm sure we all know Masha is not going to lose the belts to Suzu. And I would be a lot more excited for that match if it wasn't Mania weekend. I think Masha is one of the most booked women, as far as I can tell. So I
She
don't
always
know if
is,
she's
yeah.
going to be. She's gonna have a hard ceiling on her like 12th match of the weekend. I'm not expecting her to
Yeah.
pull out all the stops here.
Yeah, I think frankly the JCW belt being on the line kind of tanks a lot of these matches. I will say I think the benefit is that this is on spring break, so it won't be like the star attraction.
Hmm.
Funnily enough, like last year, the Sherry versus Masha match was kind of like the big match from that JCW show, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. I don't know if it was the main, but it was like the big match. And it went 30, and
Hmm.
it just didn't really click. Whereas this time around, I feel like there is more reason to just be like, let's just sprint. I don't know if Suzu can still do a very good, to great sprint, 10-minute sprint. Um, but like I think that is how you get a good match here. Uh, and Suzu obviously would have to lose, um,
Yeah,
which we'll see. I mean, she lost to Rina Yamashita at the Barb show, and like she could lose. Like I don't
yeah,
think it's
that's
out of
her
the
thing.
realm of possibility. But yeah, I said this to you. I wish this wasn't happening on Mania weekend so that it could be a death match because I think that would be really cool. Because Masha is a
Yeah,
another very creative deathmatch wrestler. Um, that's a shame that you know obviously, I don't blame her for not wanting to do a death match among, her 20 matches over 4 days.
that all.
Yeah.
You just kind of
What?
like tailed
Oh, did
off
I
there.
cut
You
out?
didn't. You just gotta
Did
like
I?
stop talking. I was like, that's unusual for this show. Um, but yeah, no, I agree with
I'm
you. I
trying to
think
cut down.
maybe
That's why I gave up for Lent is talking too
right.
much.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, I agree with you. I
Kidding.
think like it could be better if it wasn't that weekend, but just for we're getting what we're getting. Siri has been announced for one of the most interesting matches of the weekend. I think Marvelous currently has the best show out of everybody. It is Siri and Zara Zacher
Hmm.
of WID fame taking on Johnny Robbie and Takumi Iroha
Yeah.
in a very interesting team. Johnny Robbie as a meme is like my op, and Takumi is
She's the
obviously
new
one of
West
my
Coast
favorites.
champ.
She is. Somebody
She just
replied to
beat
me about that,
Zara, I
and
believe.
somebody replied to me about that. I was like, "Oh my god, she won the belt," and apparently Johnny Robbie found it, and I thought that was really funny.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Johnny and Takumi is kind of fun. I don't know how this match will work. I think it would have to be Takumi and Siri pairing off, and then Robbie and Zach are doing stuff because Robbie moves a lot faster than Siri generally does, and so does Zara for Takumi. So I don't know if they're gonna like slow it down or if it's gonna be mainly Siri Takumi and then Johnny
I think
versus
Takumi
Zara.
could speed it up against she's against that. Yeah, her and Zachary could work.
To a degree,
But
but I think the
I
best
get what you
pairings
mean.
are those two. Yeah. Um, that's all for Mania Week so
But
far.
also
We are
you're
gonna
underestimating Sherry is pinning Johnny Robbie probably. So that'll probably
she's
be
the
the pair.
champion now, so can't
Oh
she do
shit,
that?
yeah. Maybe she challenge. I don't know. No, because that's West Coast is more of a marvelous
Marvelous thing, yeah. Unless they
yeah.
do it on a Marvelous show, because Johnny Robbie might go over to Marvelous and defend against Siri.
Mm.
I don't know, but that would be fun. Um, This has been announced for Pro Wrestling Triple Six. They are running on the 6th of the 6th at Korakuen Hall. Is Ramchan's Good Friends Rumble. Miss Mongol versus Yumi Oka
Crazy.
versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Rina versus Itsuki Aoki versus Rina Amakura. Um, yeah, that is a match that exists. So
Miss
have
Mongrel,
fun.
bro. Well, that's insane.
Yeah.
I saw her painted up like the old FMW paint, and I was like, wait a minute, because I didn't recognize her at first. I was like, I know that ain't Shark or Crusher. I was like, is that fucking Miss Mongrel?
Yeah,
It was insane. It was
she's
a
out here.
real shocker.
Um, That's all as far as I'm aware from Stardom Message Outside of Stardom. I do believe they're on a show this weekend, actually in Japan. But check. It's the Hota show, isn't it? That's this week on the 30th of
Oh,
March. Yeah.
finally. Is
So
Natsume still out for it? Like, have they
that's a good point. I don't think they've
figured
addressed
out
that
what
at
they're
all.
doing?
I don't think they've said anything.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, it's still currently it is Tam and Aja versus Hota and Ano and Natsupoi and Kyoto Ito. I don't know if they've addressed that, but that's what's
Sorry,
on
we'll have
Stardom's
to replace
website.
her and win.
That would rock, yeah. Sari is on the show, so it would make sense. But yeah, that should be fun. The Cosmic Angels and the Legends getting to pair up.
Mm.
Saya Kamitani is also defending the Wave Championship on the first against Honoka, and they are running a preview tag for that
Oh yeah.
this week. And that's all. That is our roundup. So
Well, the
on
first
to
is
news. What?
a week from today. Never mind. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
the first is before the next episode.
Tis. On to news.
Mm.
Stardom has announced the official 14 names that are headed to America for their doubleheader. It's Starlight Kid, Tekla, Hanan, Suzu, Natsuko Tora, Konami, Saida, Hanako, Mina Shirakawa, Azumi, Maika, Suri, Momo Watanabe, and Hazuki. A lot of big names left off. People like Koguma, Rina, Ano, Tam, Kamatani, Natsupoi, obviously, since she is hurt, and Mayu, Mei Sarah. Like, no Cosmic Angels is crazy,
Momokogo,
given how
who is like
popular.
one of the only people on the
And
roster that
Momokogo,
speaks
yes.
English. Like I
Um,
don't know, like just from a semantic standpoint, I was like, wow, it's like I feel like she'd be useful to have around.
yeah,
But
Koguma is a weird
who knows?
absence to me. You took Hazuki but not Koguma, and Koguma has a visa, to our knowledge,
Like I
so,
said,
like,
I think like Hazuki's a late addition.
possibly. But if I was a Stardom fan, I might be pissed off at that. Like, you're not getting a
Hmm.
lot, and what you are getting is a patched up Starlight Kid, probably a big EXV tag, a bunch of hate tags, and then probably AEW wrestlers filling out the card. And
Yeah,
indie
there's no
wrestlers
singles champions that will
except
defend their
Kid, and
belts.
she's
She's
definitely
not
not
defending her
defending.
belt.
Like
Like
no
May Sarah
Mayu for
feels like
neither
an
DP,
obvious.
no nothing,
Yeah, I mean Mercedes might be on it.
possibly
So strong. I don't know. It
one of the
is
two
a bit
shows
of a.
maybe.
It's a bit underwhelming, I would say. Just generally. I agree. That it's a bit strange that they um what's the word? It's strange that they just didn't have like Saya or Tam on. I think Mayu is Mayu. We'll talk about that in a minute, I'm sure. But yeah, just a very strange turn of events there.
Yeah, the absence of the two big stars is kind of weird, especially since you could have probably sold a lot of tickets off of two preview tags. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they're assuming it'll sell
The
out
absence
anyway.
of Saya specifically feels
Yes.
especially strange because it's like you would think they would want to parade out their new, or I guess what, re
Well,
repainted toy.
she's this regime's biggest win.
Yeah.
I would probably show her off, but I don't know. Um, if you look at Tokyo Joshi Pro, I mean, I would definitely be pissed off attending because you're not getting anything. Whereas CGPW is running Miyu versus Mizuki, um, and like Suzume
We better hope the
versus
one that
Data
still works there
Stone. Like,
wins.
yeah, but I mean, even then, those are cool matches in
Yeah, no, I agree.
comparison. But I don't know. Um, that is the lineup for America. Other news bit is that Wingori versus FWC is now official for the Yokohama Arena show. This is kind of the
Oh, and
direction we both expected
so that
for.
means that Wingori also not defending their belts in America, probably.
Probably not, no. Yeah, that
Fascinating.
is a direction we both expected. That was kind of a possible
Hmm.
endpoint of the weird stars is actually shit story that
I
they
will
never
say,
paid off.
uh, depending, so something crazy or nothing at all could have happened this morning. We don't know because we obviously record this like
Yeah, I
12.
was going to mention this in the schedule. They have a press conference tomorrow. They haven't announced much for the coming week, but they have a press conference tomorrow, and I'm almost convinced they're going to say these are the people who are not extending their contract. Here's your last chance to see them at Cork, and go ahead, go nuts.
Hmm. Yeah. So some shit just might be completely wrong. We might. But Hanan did say after or no, she tweeted it yesterday that she thinks that the Yokohama Arena show will be like a restart for Stars, or like a real line in the sand
Okay,
for Stars. And she was
right.
saying all this shit. And so I was like, interesting.
She's
Um,
going to become the leader of Stars. It is
she's
just about
usurping the
how.
throne. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about how she does that and who sticks with her. Yeah. I don't know. But that's just my guess. I don't know for sure, but it would make sense why they haven't announced much, especially for the Cork and if they were going to say, "Hey, look, here's the people who are leaving. Come check them out," because they would, I assume, agree to work a few dates just like they did last year. Tammy and
Yeah.
Julie obviously worked for 2 or 3 weeks past their
I mean, the
expiry.
only person who feels like a probable, like anybody else who loses, I'll probably be shocked, other than the one
Yeah.
everybody's thinking of. She's already working All Star Grand Queendom. Is that what it's called? What's it called this time around?
Yes, it is. Yeah, All
Is
Star
it?
Grand Queen.
Yeah, she's already working that. So, like, yeah, I assume they like will become freelancers on the first, and they will be working as freelancers, but real freelancers, not TAM freelancers, um, throughout April to kind of
Yeah.
clean up.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. With
Mm.
that, we're on to the review section. I don't think we'll have much to say. I think these were two fun shows, but ultimately they weren't really that much happening. So we had Stardom Spring Vacation 2025, Heisei Okinawa Day 1. It was in the Okinawa Convention Center in front of 541 fans. They had a pre-show match where Guriken Mask and Chirami Saber beat Ryuku Dog Dingo and Shuri Joe. Sadly, Ryuku Dog Dingo did take the pinfall because life is pain.
Yeah.
Um, then had Anne Kanaya make her debut. She lost to Yuna Mizumori in 11 minutes. Really impressive debut from Kanaya. Her gear is fantastic. I think she has a really good look. The sunshiny colors, the like bright, vibrant energy. It really works and it helps her stand out immediately.
Yeah.
I think in the ring she has a lot of fire. Like even her forearms were like matching up with Unimon's, which isn't easy. Unimon has great forearms. She did that one electric chair into a roll up spot. That was like holy shit.
Yeah.
So she looks like a big win for the new trainer. Probably the most jumping off the page rookie they've had in a while.
Yeah, certainly. Especially from the jump, she is definitely she's somebody that kind of stands out. I'm interested to see where that kind of goes. She has a match against Rena, a singles, I believe. New Blood. I think that'll be a big deal
Yeah,
to like see, her against somebody who really has been having a really good year this year. Not saying Unimon hasn't, but she hasn't been having a particularly great one. Whereas Rena is really in form. So
yeah,
we'll see, if she sinks or swims there. I expect her to swim. And I think that'll be an even better indicator of like where she's at. Because yeah, she currently feels like she just has more natural, you know, uh, stuff to her. Like she's just more naturally like I don't know what the word is. Uh, More naturally varied, I guess,
yeah.
than her contemporaries in uh
And
Akira
Akira.
and Yuria.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the funny thing is that's like she came in at the same time as them, and they all three of them came in before Matoi, who I still think is probably the best in ring of the bunch. I hope she is coming back at some point. Um, but Motoi probably was still the best of the bunch. But I think Ane has both the kind of like natural presence of like a upbeat pro wrestler,
yeah.
and she is very clearly going to be skillful in the ring. So definitely a win for them thus far. I didn't really see anything wrong with her game particularly. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So fundamentally, I think that's great because she definitely, like you said, jumps off the page more than the other two.
That she does. We then went on to the God's Eye team of Saki Kashima, Hina, Lady C, and Tomoka Inaba beating Momo Watanabe, Konami, Rina, and Azusa Inaba. Saki pinned Rina with the revival in 10.5 minutes. That was a good match. This is three of Hate's better members, and they're against Tomoka Inaba,
Konami.
Lady C, who are pretty strong, and Saki Kashima, who is always good. So I thought there was enough good wrestlers in this to make it fun.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good match. God's Eye, shockingly, is just like a good faction now.
Hmm.
Um, I think despite them being kind of a bland group of people, like they just kind of are together. I think that they are all kind of operating at a level that makes them more passable than even like
Yeah.
earlier this year, like during
Smoke is
the
a big
trios.
help. Like
Yes, yes.
she's a really
Tomoka
good
locking
wrestler to
in
add.
and like kind of like putting a bit more effort in, because I think before this year, like I think last year she was a bit more of a side character, um, whereas now it feels like she's a bit more ingrained in the stuff that's going on, and that really benefits God's Eye because it makes all their matches better because she cares.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um, After that, then we had Azumi and Miyu Masaki beat Micah and Rian. Kevin pinned Rian in 9.5 minutes with the Tensei. This was a good little match. I really like Rian with Micah. I think they're a good pairing. And obviously
I like
Okugahan is
Rian.
very good.
I'm happy. I'm happy people uh memed a rookie that ended up being pretty good.
Yeah,
Like it took a while. Obviously, she now has like some of the like the most mo in recent memory. I think Mai probably has her beat still, but the most amount of matches before getting a single win, like since Waka.
yeah,
Well, not a single win, a pinfall win over somebody else. Uh, she still hasn't pinned anybody.
yeah. They
Her
don't give
dad
those out
was
so
making a
much.
joke about that or something.
That's crazy.
He was like, yeah, my daughter's the biggest loser since the racehorse that never won anything ever. It's like, damn,
God.
okay.
Um, I quite liked how Micah was just in beer mode all week. She tried to share some beers with Neo Genesis. Yeah, it was
Honestly,
fun.
this fucking more than anything, these two shows just made me, or this week of the wrestlers going to Okinawa just made me be like, man, maybe I should have joined the Navy when I was 18. Because shit, it looks seems like a fun time on the beach.
Yeah,
Um, Obvious reasons I didn't, but Okinawa seems pretty. Seems like they were just
that
chilling,
is true. That is true.
drinking. I like chilling and drinking. I'm a big fan.
Okay. And I think you would have had fun, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
probably not, but
Maybe not.
Okinawa
Yeah.
seems nice. That's my point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hanako beat Aya Sakura and Rani Agami. Hanako pinned Aya in just 8 minutes with a power bomb to get the win for herself. This is a good match. It was better when it was Aya and Rana, but
Shocker.
Hanako Hanako was also in there. And yeah, that was that.
I wasn't a fan of
That's
this
my
one. I
take.
thought it was.
All right, that's fair. The Stars team, Mayu Utani, Momokogo, Hazuki, and Koguma beat Hanan, Saida, Akira, and Yuria. Momokogo pinned Hanan in just under 15 minutes of the 619 DDT in 14 minutes. This is quite long, but there was a lot of good
I
stretches
liked it.
to it. Yeah, I
I
mean
quite liked it.
they very briefly did some cool stuff, and then I think the Momokogo Hanan stuff was really good to end it. But
Mm.
um, I thought it was fun, but probably could have done better with some of the high end pairings. But it is what
Yeah,
it is.
but also, I think they were obviously saving for Hazuki and Koguma. They don't want to
Yes,
start
that's true.
previewing that before they have to, and Akira and Yuria make up, half of their team, like a quarter of the match. So they have to get involved in some ways. So I get what you mean, but also like I also don't think Mayu's doing much, frankly, right
Oh
now.
no, dude, she was
Like
so unmotivated. I've never seen
yeah,
anybody less interested in anything.
and it's fascinating because she's, the GOAT, so she still had a very good tag title match the next day. Still unmotivated, clearly
Yeah,
didn't really care that much. Still a good match.
yeah,
um, but yeah, so I think when as much as, it would have been cool to see more high end pairings, I kind of look at this match and go, where?
yeah,
Like even though this match does include, like five of the best wrestlers in the company, you know, four of them can't really interact yet because they have to interact
mhm.
later, and the fifth doesn't really care.
Yes. Okay. Our next match was Tam Nakano and Shiori Ano beating Mina Shirakawa and Waka Tsukiyama. Tam pinned Waka in 12.5 minutes with a tiger suplex. I actually thought there was a lot of good stuff happening in this. I thought Tam and Mina were very good together. I thought Waka actually put her working boots on for once and did some good stuff with Ano and Tam. And I thought
Rare,
this
rare
was a good
instance
match.
where I thought the butt comedy was kind of funny.
Oh,
when
Anno like
Suriano just
death
started beating the
glaring. Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
out of her, like
I
beating
love
her
it.
ass literally. I thought that was great. Um, very funny. But yeah, it was fine. I
I
I think Cosmic Angels lore might be the only thing I dislike more than Tam lore, uh, which kind of set this match behind from the jump. But I thought the match was
yeah.
good enough to where I didn't like mind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
getcha.
but yeah.
Oh,
So
chair creaked. um, what I haven't internalized yet that Tam might possibly be retiring in a month, but I think her and Mina's post-match exchange really drove home like, oh, this is the final stretch. Like, her and Mina just kind of chatting and shaking hands.
mm,
At one point in time, this looked like it was going to be a big feud for the company, and they obviously never got to do it because Tam
just
kind of
beat her
dropped the
and
red belt.
walked
Well,
away.
no, Tam dropped the red belt, and then Mina had to like
Yeah.
split her time with America, so they never really got to do it. So them just being like super friendly and chatty just made me go, okay, we're definitely in the throes of Tam's career here. Um, and
This is
that
the
was one of the
end.
first times where it really kind of drove
My
into me.
oldest friend. The end.
um, Next up was BMI 2000 beating Crazy Star. Rocca got the win for her team over Suzu in 8.5 minutes with a freezer bomb. There was obvious kind of miscommunications throughout the match, but the finish was fairly clean. I don't think they did miscommunication up to the finish. Suzu just got laid the fuck out, so it
No,
was
they did.
interesting.
Miss Sarah drop kicked her or something. Like, uh, that, yeah, I don't know. I just do the turn, man.
I mean, technically they did
I
the
know.
next day.
I expect what I expect, but also that wasn't a turn. That was Suzu and May falling out because Miyu still walked away with Suzu.
That's true. Maybe Miyu is like a
She's
dickhead.
not. She's not.
Well,
That's
I
not happening.
don't know.
Su
Possibly.
I think that very specifically happened because I don't think Suzu has officially turned on Neo Genesis yet. She just
Right.
doesn't fuck with Mei Seira. I still expect a Mei Seira versus Suzu match, frankly, either on that
Mhm.
Korakuen coming up or at Queendom even. Uh, and I ultimately expect a Suzu Momo double turn. I don't know how
Ooh.
they're gonna work it, but
I don't know either.
it could be really dumb. I think I would put money on it being a dumb way somehow. Like they would do it in a very uncharming way. But I do expect that to happen, and I'm you know I'm cool with it.
Okay. Our main event then was Saya Kamitani beating Sayaka Kurara in just under 13 minutes with a Star Crusher. I liked what this was. It was just a heel getting to beat on a babyface for a bit. Like,
Mm.
they didn't go for an overly long 50-50 babyface comeback. It was just Saya stomping her out for a little bit and winning. So
I will
it was
say,
good.
if this company knows how to do anything, it's bury the winner of the tournament that just happened.
Yes. Yes. But I mean, we all
Um,
expected her to
except for
lose to
Wingori,
Saya.
shouts out. They Wingori on top forever, baby.
Oh, yeah. Um, We then had on the 22nd of March, Stardom Spring Vacation 2025 Heisei Okinawa Day 2 in front of 572 fans. Altogether, I think this was probably a lot less than they were hoping for. The venue was quite big. Like, there was a
Mm.
lot of empty
How
seats.
much was it?
572.
Mm. Yeah,
Day one was like 540, I think.
I expected I didn't expect them to really get that many people. Like Okinawa, I don't know. It's not like a
It's
wrestling
weird because
town
Oz got like 900,
inherently.
and Oz is
Yeah,
Oz.
that
They
is
do what they
odd.
do.
Yeah,
And All Japan did 1,000.
yeah.
But I
All
think,
Japan
you
doing
split
a
it
thousand
across
makes
2
sense.
days, maybe it makes sense. They got
Yeah,
500 plus 500, so that's about 1,000. And they did an event on the Friday, so maybe they made like a lot of merch money if they did autograph stuff. So I'd imagine it was worth their while, but they probably condensed this to one show if they go again.
and I will also say that another thing is I wonder how many people are Okinawan and showed up, and how many people just like traveled to go to these shows. Because there were a lot of like you obviously start to notice photographers, Japanese photographers on Twitter,
Yeah,
and there were like a lot of like the usual suspects at this show, like in the like not like
it's true.
media, but just like people who take pictures from the crowd at this show. So I do wonder how much of it is like it might just be that Stardom has a terrible footprint in Okinawa in comparison
Maybe.
to every other wrestling company. You know what I mean? Like that's always possible. Because I do expect, a fraction, not much, but I do expect some of the attendance to not even be Okinawan, and they still
Yeah.
didn't do a great number.
Well, I don't know. It's Okinawa though, and
Yeah,
they probably just wanted to
it
make their
was a
money back.
vacation.
Yeah, pretty much. We opened this show with Maika, Mina, and Hanako beating Akira, Yuria, and Ane. Hanako pinned Ane in just under 12 minutes with a brainbuster. Thought
I
this was
actually
some of
like
the
this.
yeah, this was some of the best Hanako stuff we've seen in a while, and it's no surprise it came against a very natural babyface. So maybe
Yeah, I
just
don't
let Hanako work that a little bit more.
liking a EXV match was felt weird. It was good.
Yeah. Well, what can I
I mean,
say?
not
Ane the
great,
goat already.
but it was a good match.
That's fair. We then had Miyu Masaki beating Waka Tsukiyama and Saki Kashima. Miyu pinned Waka in just under 7 minutes with the Amano Hashidate. This was fun. Saki Kashima is funny, and
She
she was
is,
funny
yes.
throughout. It feels mean to Waka to put her in there with Saki because Waka is kind of funny but has to try really
She's like
hard.
faux
Saki
funny.
is just naturally funny, and it makes
Yeah.
Waka look not funny at all. I did feel a little bad for Waka here. She was up against the immovable
Well,
object of comedy.
and and the thing is that it's like I don't know, not to be the old head, but Saki Kashima 100% comes from a time when like to survive those house shows you got to be funny.
Yeah.
Like like both before like mostly after she came back. Like 2018, like you had to in 2019, you had to be funny if you weren't a workhorse.
Yes.
Um and Saki Kashima kind of figured that out. She was like, "Oh, I could just like have a rivalry with Natsu and it'll be funny and I won't have to die every house show because there's
Mhm.
nothing else for me to do." So like I think she has a very natural and she was always funny. Like Saki's always had a good comedic side of her. Um
Yeah.
so yeah, I only watched like bits of it and but yeah, I thought it was funny. I think I saw a clip of Waka like trying to pin Saki and Saki just being like, "What the fuck, bro?" Like just being like
Yeah.
actively
There
offended.
was a lot of that fun stuff of
Yeah,
Saki trying to pair up with everybody and then kept turning on them. It was pretty fun.
as she
We then
is.
had Tomoka Inaba beating Rian in 10.5 minutes with a one-shot kill Tomoka kick. Uh,
I really
this
like
might have
this.
been Rian's career best. Like
Yeah,
Tomoka was
probably.
just giving her the works, and Rian was really fighting back pretty well. Um,
This match made me want a Rion versus Suzuki match because
yes,
that was one of Rion's like first matches. It was maybe like her 10th or 11th match, and it was quite good. Um, and I think Rion's better now, so I
yes,
would like to
definitely.
see like a Hazuki Rion match. Would be really cool.
I agree. Hazuki and Koguma beat Rian and Azusa Inaba. Koguma pinned
No, no,
Azusa in
no, no, no. Rion?
sorry,
No,
Rina.
it's Rena.
Rina and Azusa. Koguma pinned Azusa in 9 minutes with a 120% schoolboy. Um,
It's funny because I was correcting you and I said Rion,
yes,
and
yes,
so
you
I
did.
was also wrong. That was my bad.
um, this was good when they were in the ring, but they didn't do a lot in the ring.
Yeah.
So they were definitely holding back for a future match, which is totally
Yeah,
fair.
and it was kind of left on Kokomo to just kind of like go through the motions to the
Yeah,
finish for the most part.
but she
Um,
did. She did good.
yeah, she's fine. Yeah, I mean, Koguma is one of those wrestlers that when she tries, she's great, and when she actively doesn't, she's still all right. So can't blame her.
Yeah. We then had the God's Eye team of Ronnie Agami, Hina, and Lady C beat Mei Sarah, Azumi, and Suzu Suzuki. I can't even remember if I got to finish the teams. Um,
You did
Rana. All right, okay. Ronnie Agami pinned Mei Sarah with the Paradiddy in 9 minutes. This, of course, came after some, not so great moments with Suzu and Mei. I thought this was a good match for what it was. And yeah, we got the breakup.
fine.
Mei and
Yeah.
Suzu brawled a little after. Suzu walked away.
Yeah. This time it was May that kind of like pushed Suzu, and then Suzu
Yeah.
jumped her. Um, yeah. And like I said, after this, Suzu walked away with Miyu, and Starlight Kid and Azumi walked away with May. So
Mm. Mm.
I will miss the
Um,
I will miss the Instagram lives
yes,
of Miyu, Suzu, and Meisera. They will be missed.
that's fair. We had a Cosmic Angels versus Hate special elimination tag. Sam Nakano, Siri Ano, Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara beat Saya Kamitani, Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, Konami, and Ruaka. The last elimination was Tam over Saya to be the sole survivor.
Mm.
Match was kind of good until the end, and then Tam and Saya obviously did their thing. They did a big like interference spot where Tam had Saya pinned. Hate ran the ring. They pulled the referee out. They got fended off by Cosmic Angels a little bit, and then Rocka accidentally hit Saya with the box, and that set up Tam getting the pin. You know,
Who, Ruaka did?
was it Rocka or was it Momo?
I think it was Ruaka. I'm
It
kind
was
of
the
blanking.
box, which is usually
So I
Rocka.
assume it was Ruaka. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just
somebody
kind of
hit Saya
forgot. Yeah.
accidentally with the box because Tam pulled her in the way. Then Tam hit a second violet screwdriver to get the win. Yeah, Tam Saya stuff is 50-50. That's kind of how they've done it the entire way. When Tam, when Saya went to pin Tam, I was just like, "There's no way. Like they're not having Saya win again." So I kind of knew Tam was gonna get back into it, and she did, and she overcame, and the baby faces got the win. So
Saya is now accidentally hitting Momo, so it's not just Momo and Tekla. Makes you
yes,
think.
yeah, interesting. Um, The main event then of the show was Saida and Hanan beating Mayu Utani and Momokogo to retain Goddess of Stardom Championship. Saida won with a crushing lariat on Momokogo in 17.5 minutes. They very briefly did Mayu Hanan. And I remember
Mm.
they got out of the ring and I said, "Oh, I'm sure they come back to this later." No, they did not.
They do not. Yeah.
It was okay. They did enough with
It was
Hazuki, or not Hazuki, sorry, Ida and
it was
Kogo.
all Ida. I think Kanan was kind of the fourth man here.
Yeah.
Because Ida got the best out of Mayu. She also got the best out of Momokogo.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, no, I really like this. I thought it was a
Yeah.
very good
Another
match.
pretty good match.
Um,
Two
like I
shows
mean
full of like good matches, nothing
eh,
exceptional, but nothing bad.
yeah, nothing insane. I like the second day. Well, not even kinda. eh. I think the first day had nothing of note for me. Like
Yeah,
I didn't like if like I didn't need to watch that. Is how I
that's true.
how I look at it. Is that it's like there's not a single thing from that show that like actively like was like oh like you know. Whereas on this show I was happy to see Rian do well. Um,
Hmm.
I liked the tag title match. And EXV having a good match feels novel, so that was cool, even if it wasn't like insane. So yeah, I would say the second show, even though I was kind of I didn't watch the entire second show, like I skipped the three way for example. Um, I thought the second show was probably better.
All right, that's fair enough. Let's see, what do we have? Oh yeah, we have the New Blood show to preview.
Hmm.
So that closed out our review. Obviously, FWC challenged Wingori after the Goddess match, and that ended the Okinawa stint. Um, there are like 3 to 4 shows in the next 7 days, next 7 or 8 days, depending on how you look at it. But obviously, there's no cards for
Oh,
the
and
upcoming stuff.
that's another thing. Um, it might be because tomorrow's like their travel day, but a lot of the wrestlers are still in Okinawa.
They're on
So
full vacation. That is
yeah, but
incredible.
also that means that that the presser probably won't be shows
It depends.
unless
It
they
might be New
travel
Blood.
in the morning.
It might be some New Blood, in fairness.
Maybe.
Some of them
But
will be from other
they don't really
promotions.
need to. They're already there.
That's
Like they
true, but
already like
Pam
the
and
whole card is
Misukiguro will definitely do a thing. And then they'll probably be doing a
I
Korakuen
swear to
thing
God, if
with
all of this
Pam.
commotion is over fucking Tam and Misa Kagura finally having their match, I'm gonna go insane.
Listen, I put nothing past Tam Nakano. How many times have I said that? Put nothing past Tam.
Yeah, no,
But
true.
yeah, the I imagine the cards for the house shows in the Corkin will be finalized after the press conference tomorrow, so we just have to wait for those. But we do have a card for New Blood. This is New Blood 20, presented by Stomping, which is apparently an app, a must-have app for pro wrestling fans. This is in the
Mm.
Shinagawa Intercity Hall. As you said, Anne Kanaya takes on Rina in a singles match, which will definitely be won by Rina, but that's
Yep.
pretty
I
fun to
like
look
that.
forward to.
Yeah.
Tomoka Inaba and Akira, pretty interesting pairing. They take
Akira.
on Sayaka Kurara and Princess Yuria. Um, if, I mean Tomoka over Kurara in the hierarchy, but Yuria over Akira in their kind of thing. So
And
probably
also
Yuria pinning Akira.
Sakakarara is Cinderella.
Yeah, but no, I meant in the hierarchy. Tomoka over Kurara, protection wise.
No.
No, okay then. Well, Yuria is gonna pin Akira,
Yeah,
I think.
one of them. I think Karara pins Akira.
Either way, it is
Yeah.
Akira taking the fall.
Yeah.
Wingori takes on Kiori Oniyama and Rian.
Ooh,
That is crazy.
I fucks with this.
Oniyama should get a win and challenge. Maybe with Rian. Maybe
But
they
they
do
already have a
win and they
title
go for the
match.
New Bloods.
No,
'Cause they will
these are
need
the
challengers
tag
for the New
team
Blood.
champions. These are the Goddess of
This is
Stardom tag
Kiori
team
Oniyama.
champions.
They
Yeah,
love
my
Oniyama rolling people up. She can just
an all-time legend,
turn
but
Ida into a.
Rian is losing. Rian doesn't win.
I don't know. I could see Oniyama and Rian challenging for
I can
the
see
New
this
Bloods.
going to 15 and them challenging for the New Bloods. At
Maybe.
most. They are not winning,
There
Alex.
is quite a big chance that Oniyama simply turns Saida into a boulder and pins her.
Over the I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Hina and Rani Agami take on Tei Honma and Kakeru Sekiguchi. What an
That
interesting,
this is
weird
the
match.
least New Blood match I have ever seen.
Literally.
Um,
Tei
like
Honma is like
Kakaru?
40 years old. Kakeru is,
Kakaru?
yeah, this woman has been
Like
pushed
a
in Oz for like
8 yeah,
2 years.
like a 6-year veteran, 7
Yeah,
like 8 year like what?
what a weird one. But yeah, sure. That'll be interesting, I guess.
Kakadita's sister?
Oh Lord, please don't.
Her
Please don't
her Japanese
introduce
cousin?
this shitty lore to my show. Our next match. This is a really good match. Regina D Wave preliminary tag. Saya Kamitani, Uraka, and Azusa Inaba take on Kohaku, Honoka, and Sakuran. Ooh, I'm
That's
interested
not her
in that.
name. Isn't that Saran?
What? Saran. Sorry. Saran. I get confused. There's too many wrestlers nowadays.
Sakura.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Saran, yeah, I would imagine Hinoka is going to pin somebody or Kohaku because Saya is going to then curb stomp the poor young one in Wave.
Mm. Yeah, probably I could see Kohaku getting like a roll on Ruaka,
Yeah,
potentially.
possibly. Well, we shall see. But that would be a good match.
Mm.
Special singles match: Tam Nakano versus Misa Kagura. This is Tam Lord to the fucking hilt. Tam
Mhm.
Nakano and Misa Kagura were in the same idol thing for a while. Tam left because she does not have the brawn to get through the idol world. Misa Kagura stayed, but then Misa Kagura also left the idol world, and Tam succeeded in pro wrestling, and now their paths converge once again. Holy moly. Tam is going to drive
Holy
this woman
moly,
into
it's
the
the big
ground.
homie.
Tam Nakano is going to violet screwdriver this woman into the dirt, and we will be done with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Rey Mysterio versus John Cena,
Very
but not the
cool.
real version, the version you see on Twitter, where John Cena pushes
Right.
him, hits the AA, picks him up, hits the AA, pins him, picks him up, hits the AA. That's gonna be Tim.
Good. Good.
Yep.
We then have a New Blood Tag Championship match. Aka and Hanako take on Inu Mizumori and Aya Sakura. Aya and Hanako have done their best to like build a rivalry here. Aka and Unimon can kind of do a hey, you used to be in my group, now you're not in my group thing. This is
Yeah,
probably built around Aya versus Hanako, and Aya and Unimon will not win. Although Hanako
it
did
should.
draw last blood in the previews, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know
Two
if that
belts,
means
Aya.
anything.
That's the real.
That would be cool, but I don't
No,
think they're
I
taking
think
it off Hanako
Hanako
yet.
pins Aya again, and then Aya beats her in a title defense.
Yeah, maybe. Let's go with that. And that's New Blood. Interesting show. Could be bad, could be good. I don't really know. It will depend on the
I like a lot
wrestlers.
of the matches there. I think some of
I
the
think there's a lot
matches
of
are good.
variants. Like some of them could be good or they might just be bad.
Mm, yeah,
So it's hard to really know.
and there's oh wait, the Niter is
Ninder's on the first, and there's only one match for it, which is Tam versus Anno.
Oh, I thought they announced something else. I thought they announced the second one, but I guess not.
I haven't
I could have swore they
seen.
did, but I
Well,
could be wrong.
I can check the schedule because Stardom's
No, I already
website is
did.
kind
I
of
already did.
functional now.
It's not there.
There's no second match. Okay.
It's just that.
That's that for Stardom. I hope that nothing huge gets announced in the 24 hours following this show. Otherwise, I will be really annoyed at existence for doing that to me.
Mm.
But we can only do what we can do. Isn't
Yeah, and
that
I
right,
work
though?
tomorrow. It's not even like I can do an emergency pod.
Yeah. So,
Well, actually, no. I work until like now, like 24 hours from now. So I mean,
yeah,
if we
and then
had
I
to,
can't
we could.
record.
But
So it's
yeah.
kind of
Oh yeah, Wednesday. I
fun.
forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That is Stardom out of the way. Done.
That is.
Finito. On to Marigold. Big week for
It's not
Marigold in
Marigold.
terms of
It's Marigold.
announcements. Yes. Um,
Julia told me that. Go on.
um, Marigold wrestles outside of Marigold, which I should just rename the Nanae section. Nanae beat
No, the
Zones.
Nanae section is actually marvelous. If you
Hell yeah.
remember.
The night beat Zones on the 21st in Evo Girls in a pretty good match. I think this is the best singles match Zones has had in a long time, at least that I've seen. Uh, and the Nai is just too good. It is ridiculous that
Yeah,
she's
Nanae's
leaving.
like one of my wrestlers of the year.
Honestly, I totally understand.
Yeah, her it crazy top. I'm not gonna say my fifth. Crazy top four. Saori, Yuzuki, Nanae, and Meiko.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
You would think this was like 2012, and you'd think, who the fuck is Victoria Yuzuki? Well, she's 7 currently. If it's 2012,
yeah.
but Saori
Um,
wasn't great by 2012, but you know what I mean. She was
yeah,
still
no, I
around.
get you. She was just coming into the biz.
Yep.
Now, we missed this last week, but on the 13th of April, Nanae Takahashi will take on Nori at an LLPW show. So this is one of
Bruh.
the first times we're going to see Nori in a little while, because she just doesn't show up in Marigold anymore. LLPW does upload to YouTube, so we probably will see that eventually, which is pretty
Mhm.
cool. And then the last one is Nanae. Her match in Ice Ribbon has finally been announced. It's a bit of a crazy match. It's a 6-woman tag. Off memory, it is Nanae, Yuna Manase. Oh no, I have it here. It's Nanae, Yuna Manase, and Todoro Satsuki versus Hamiko Hoshi, Makoto, and Hanako Nakamori.
Wait,
Some
okay,
good
so
stuff there, some not so good
very
stuff.
quickly, I just checked to see if Nori has done anything this year. She wrestled against Tomoka Inaba in a tag, and I feel like that had to have been good.
Where
It
was
was
it
on a
though?
shindy.
Oh yeah, there's no chance. Um,
I'm gonna see if they put it on YouTube.
okay. Um, yeah. So Nanai working that match is kind of cool. Hanako Nakamori is awesome. Makoto is awesome. So just get them in there with Nanai as much as you can. Do not let Todoro Satsuki in the ring. No offense to Todoro Satsuki, but she is not that
That's
good
very
anymore.
offensive to Totoro Sakaguchi.
Well, listen, she shouldn't have tried to big league everybody last year when she was champion. It's just, I don't make the rules. Um, I guess they're doing
Rip.
that mask because Hamiko and Nanai are close. Like they have always seemed like pretty chill with each other. So I guess that's why they're gonna be the main pairing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that's all for Marigold wrestlers outside of Marigold. On to news. We got the full card for the Nanae Takahashi Produce show. This is Muscle Bar Japan presents All's Well That Ends Well on April 14th in Shinjuku Face. When this was first announced, I saw Marigold post it. And when I translated it, I saw Muscle Bar Japan presents and was like, oh, this is just some shindy thing. And then everybody was
Mhm.
like, no, this is this is the Nanae show. And I went, oh, okay. Um, Card for this is pretty interesting, actually. I really like this. We have Hiroya Matsumoto versus Chika Goto. I think if I could
Yeah,
pick anybody in all of Indie Joshi to wrestle Chika Goto, it would have been Hiroyo. Hiroyo is the perfect person to put against her. So
it
I'm
was it
I'm
was
happy
pretty
with that.
awesome because Chikagota was crying her eyes out at the presser.
Yeah. Oh,
And I think it was because Nanae is retiring and whatnot. Then she looked up at Hiroyo and just went, "Ah!" Just like what like just started bawling even more. I don't know
crazy.
the context. It was either because she's terrified of wrestling Hiroyo or she's
I
super
would
excited
be.
to wrestle Hiroyo, or both.
Probably
I think
both.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
would be
both is
both.
probably the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, her just bawling her eyes out and then looking up at like Hiroyo's giant face on the LED and just crying even harder. Very funny.
Our next match is Mikoi Ono and Miyuki Takase taking on Yumiko Hoda and Kanai Meek. This is
Actress
an actress,
lore.
yeah, actress offer match. Yumiko Hoda, a former players representative of actress, definitely not trainer, even though all of her current trainees wrestle very similar to that generation of actress girls. Um, yeah, that's a fun one. I like Hoda. I like old woman Hoda, so it's pretty chill.
Yeah, so
Um,
I checked that tag match is nowhere to be found.
of course. Utami Hayashishita takes on Zones, and that is a fun one for sure. Uh, then we
It
get to
could
the
be.
crazy.
I think that could be good. I think it has
I mean,
a
I think
higher.
Zones is a lot better than she had been, so I think I'm
Yeah, and
trusting
I
her
think
there.
I think Utami can pull up some
Yeah,
a young power wrestler.
that is
She's
true.
capable of doing that.
We
Look at
get
her
to
stuff
some
with Raka.
crazy.
That was always pretty fun.
Oh, that's true. But we got to the crazy shit. Nanae Takahashi, Yu and Mirai taking on Chihiro Hashimoto, Ryu Mizunami, and Rina Yamashita. That is beef central. And I hope
And
not real
also,
beef, because
yeah,
I don't
everybody's
want
like, wait a
anybody
minute, don't
shooting.
they hate each other?
Yeah,
Which
that's
love that.
crazy.
I
I
love
lo-
Seven Up lore,
love
best lore
wrestling.
in wrestling.
Yeah, it's so fun. Hashimoto and Mirai minutes. Let's get it. Let's do
Bro,
it.
so yeah, I was watching this presser with Scott,
Yeah,
and it was 3 a.m. and I
of
was
course.
like, I was amazed that Mariah and you were wrestling together as a team, and then I look over and he's like, and saw Chihiro, I was like, oh fuck, and he's like, you didn't notice that? Like that was like the main thing. uh, yeah, Chihiro, Mariah minutes.
Oh yeah. Um, that is all for news as far as I know, because we're gonna preview the Korakuen.
Wait,
So,
the no, you forgot the big match on that show.
oh shit, yeah, I did. I forgot the main event. I was moving too quick. It is the return of Momoe Nakanishi to team with Nanae to take on Seri Yamioka and Victoria Yuzuki. Uh, that is crazy. Yuzuki and Momoe minutes is some of the most incredible stuff I could have ever pictured, and
Yeah, that's
we're
actually
gonna
the
get it.
best part probably is that Sari is obviously going to pair off with Nanai.
Yeah,
And as much as I would love to see more Yuzuki and Nanai, they're great together. Yuzuki and Momoe, like, give me that in like in bulk. You know what I mean? Uh,
yes.
'Cause
If
that's
you
fucking real.
somehow listen to the show and have never seen Momoe Nakanishi, you a bitch. Get yourself
You need
educated.
to watch Momoe Nakanishi.
Yeah, get your education
Literally
done.
you can literally watch any like post retirement, pre retirement. You should watch pre retirement, but literally she still moves the same. Like you could watch fucking one of her appearances 2 years ago, and it's like you'll get it and you'll want to watch more.
She's
She's
incredible,
fucking awesome.
truly.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. We have one show to review. This was in the Lily Arena MITO on the 23rd of March. They had an announced attendance of 415. It did look like 415. All four sides are fairly full. It was a sponsored show as well, so
Yeah, they
they
probably
probably.
made bank here, bro.
Yeah, I would say so. The show opened with Kizuna Tanaka beating Ryoko Sakamura in just under 6 minutes. Kazuna's
This was good.
future might be as a bully. She was really good at like
Okay,
just being a dickhead to Ryoko
yes, and
throughout
I
the entire.
agree. But also, because you mentioned this morning in a chat with Velke, and Velke was like, "Oh, so you're telling me that Dylan's saying that Kazuna's an eternal babyface and a top babyface, and she'd actually be better as a heel." That's like saying Mirai would be better as a heel. Mirai is the biggest bully in this goddamn company, and she's also the biggest babyface in the company. Like that's Kazuna, and I'm ready for it. Like I think that this match actually showed quite a lot because it showed that Kazuna can quite effectively work down, which most Joshi can't do. I would argue, quite a lot. In fact, cannot do. So shouts out Kazuna because this was a good match. I liked it. Uh, and yeah, I mean like her. Her shutdowns are great, and they always have been great. Like I think her like I don't know what the word is. Like her hope spots, like her last gasps type of moves work just as well as shutdowns. Like the armbar is the perfect example.
Mhm.
When she's getting her ass beat and she gets that armbar, it's like, yeah, she came back, she got something. Let's go.
Never ever feel that for
It's
Kizuna.
because you suck. Like that's because you have bad taste and
I
are
love
lame
baby
and you're
faces just
bitch
as much
made.
as
Like
anybody.
that's
I
the
love
that's
the
the
ace
problem
baby
here.
face comeback. I'm a big proponent of baby faces, and I just do not get it with her. But Bully Kizuna
I'm
might
going
be
to
the way.
continue talking. Thank you. I wasn't done, you
You
asshole.
you like couldn't care less about a lot of this show, but you are willing to go to war for Kazuna Tanaka.
Yeah, I
It
think
is
Kizuna is
incredible.
very
It
good.
is
Like I
so
don't.
funny. She is your hill to die on. Her and Darkness
Yeah,
Revolution are like your two hills to die on. That's it. You don't give a damn
I would
about
say
anything
Kizuna
else.
more than Darkness Revolution because I
Yes,
think
yes,
Darkness Revolution is just a fun faction. Like I don't
yes.
have a particularly like oh they're the best faction. That it's like no they're just fun and I think they're cool. Um, but no, like I think a lot of her spots work in both ways, and I think that's cool, and I think she did do very well here. Um, so yeah, I think she is following Mariah's path more than she's following a heel's path, which is what some dumb people tried to tell me. That's just me.
I don't know. You can be a bully without being a heel. You know.
That's my point.
I did send her to hate just to annoy you, in response to one person, but that was just to annoy you, basically.
Kazuna
Um,
and hate, bro. No, and that's the other problem. If Kazuna did turn heel, it would be like fucking Starlight Kid as a heel, but infinitely worse. Like
maybe.
it
I
would
don't know.
be actively painful, I think.
Okay, that's good. So Megaton beat Riara in 6.5 minutes. So that was a thing. I didn't watch
Uh,
this. I split my time
I
between
thought it
them.
was funny.
So,
I thought
yeah,
this one worked.
okay.
Riara had lost to Megaton on her birthday. That's fucking depressing. Like I would
Honestly, it's
be
so
having a
funny.
breakdown. But yeah, like Megaton like drew Megaton paint on her face mid match. Very funny.
Okay.
Uh, and Riara made her drink some of her champagne and then kicked her and she spit it out. Um, and then Megaton did like her finish was the worst. It like she just kept doing the Megaton splash. She did one on the ground, then she went to the first rope, then she hit another one, and she got up to the second rope, and it took her a long time. And she did another, and I was like, "Damn, this sucks! Like this is a terrible finish."
That sounds like the greatest thing of all time.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
like, yeah, no, it was great. Like
yeah.
I was
I
like, "This is
I
fucking
guess I picked the
terrible.
wrong
I
one.
love it."
That's incredible. Yeah, because I watched the next one to see what Gigaton was like, and
I think the
I
Gigaton one
I
was
don't
way
know.
weaker, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
sounds like it. It sounds like it. Because Minami Yuki beat Gigaton by disqualification in just under 8 minutes. Gigaton made a baby cry, which I thought was incredible.
It was
Like
really
that.
funny. She made it cry twice.
Yeah, like I just
She
thought
made
this
it
is a real
cry.
house show right here. This is what we live for.
She made it cry in
And
the audience during her entrance, and then she
yeah.
got back in the ring, looked back to the baby, and did it again, and everybody started booing her.
Um, 'Cause I thought this was also pretty fun in like the Gigaton way, and I laughed a bit, but I think the best spots were unintentional because she
Mm.
like tried to use the magic staff and went, "Why doesn't this work?" Then the magic staff broke, and she would just stared at it like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do now?"
And she
And then she
started
just
dual wielding the
yeah,
magic staff, the
she
two
just like
parts of it, started
beat
beating the
on
fuck out of
Tommy with it.
Tommy.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun, but I
It's
don't know
great.
that was meant to happen. I don't think it
Working.
was meant to break.
Tommy's been working here maybe like out of 12 shows, and she's gotten
Yeah,
attacked like 4 times. It's like, damn, what
yeah.
the fuck?
It must be strange. She can take a bump.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
she's
she
she's a
can, but
goat,
she probably
but
shouldn't. Might turn to
no, she
dust.
shouldn't. She wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to take a bump in the 80s when she was 20 years old.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, that's
and
fair.
now we're 2025.
Yeah, no, I thought like the Gigaton stuff obviously is a waste of now, but it like I do laugh when it's there. I can't hate on it too much, and the DQ finish was funny, so
I
I'll
think
give
I
them that.
think I think if they give me occasional Naoshikawa matches, like regular Naoshikawa
Yeah,
matches, they can do this for another couple months, month or two.
all right,
Not
I
too
get that.
long, but like it's not like I need this over tomorrow. It's like just as
Yeah.
long as I get to see now, like be now too. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm
No,
fine.
I agree. Um, We then had Mai Sakurai, Miko Aono beat Chika Goto and Natsumi Suzuki in 11 minutes. Aono pinned Goto to get the win, and afterwards Mai Sakurai went, Chika, you fucking loser. This is why you aren't chosen to wrestle Marvelous, which I think is great.
Also, um, Miku and Mai said they're going to challenge for the Twin Stars.
I knew it. I pitched that
That
literally 1 week ago.
I
I
know.
knew it.
Yeah. You and Scott have been talking a lot about how you were like, this should happen. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But yes, Miku said maybe we should look at the Twin Stars one of these days. I don't know. Like they didn't like obviously like be like we are challenging. She was just like, but she said the word when you say the title, it usually means it's in motion. It's Chekhov's gun, promo wise.
Mm.
So yeah, I
I'm
expect
agreeing.
them to challenge.
Okay. I like this angle for Goto if they can't do a Koki thing, who may be ready for May, but also may not. Um,
Yeah, I
this
don't
is a
know.
good angle for her to take to
It's
kind of
not
get
looking
involved.
great
No, you
for
said she's
her
only
in
doing like
May.
weight training now or something. So
She's doing upper body, like she's doing pretty intensive upper body training, but she
right.
still is like kind of struggling to do squats.
Oof,
Uh,
okay.
Not struggling to do squats, but like she's still early in that process.
Right.
So, but also it's possible that there is doing really like because she posts some of this stuff on like her TikTok and shit.
Oh, I see.
Um, so it's possible that like this was just like her kind of taking a bit of a rest day for her legs,
Mm,
or she's just being kind of cautious. And it's possible that the return like once her knee is in good shape, that the training to return will take very little time. It's
yeah.
possible, but it's also possible that that'll take longer. So I think it is still kind of optimistic, shoot for May, but
Okay.
it's possible.
Possible for sure. Um, Our main event then was Darkness Revolution, the team of Azula, Chiaki, Misamatsui, and Nagisa Nozaki, beating Mirai, Rei Sato, Utami Hashishita, and Victoria Yuzuki in 20 minutes. Misa got the win for her team over Rhea with her finisher doodad. Yeah, this
One
was
of
a
her finisher doodads.
fine.
She has like
Yeah,
four. I forget what this one is. It's not the Maru. I don't
uh,
think.
I don't know. This was a fine match. Darkness
That
Revolution
was,
did
that was
they
fun.
they made them work two face and peril spots, so that should tell you enough about how the match flowed. Yeah, once they kind of did stuff, it was cool. They just didn't do
Yeah,
much stuff. So
I thought that Bozilla and Utami again continued to do good stuff, both outside and inside the ring.
yeah,
Utami tossed Bozilla into a bunch of chairs, and she literally took out like 16 chairs. Like I'm not
jeez,
like eight
love
eight
it.
chairs, and because she's tall, she took out double, and I was like, holy fuck, that was insane.
That's
And then
great.
inside the ring, they were pretty cool too. Misa cool, Chiaki did all right. You know, uh,
Yeah, the
Mirai is
worst
always a
performer was
treat.
probably Yuzuki. Yuzuki had one of those where nothing was working. Her and Bozilla
Yeah,
were still out of sync.
I didn't
Uh,
really I didn't really notice Suzuki much outside of like just kind of like
not. Yeah,
yeah,
Rei
it was
Sato is
whatever.
an interesting addition. She's not used to this pace, and you can tell, but she's
Yeah,
trying her
she did all
best.
right. She did
Yeah,
solid.
she did.
Mirai's always Mirai.
Yeah,
I will say all the winners got well, not all the winners, but the last two matches, the winners got like freezer boxes full of meat.
yeah.
Um, and fucking Darkness Revolution was so goddamn excited. You should have seen Bozo. I've never seen Bozo so happy as when she got a freezer
That's
box full of
incredible.
meat. She was going insane, and Victoria Yuzuki on the outside was like, "What the fuck? I want to." Like she just looked so upset, and Mariah was laughing at her.
That's valid, honestly.
That was great.
That was that show though,
Mm.
and a neat little house show, which you can get away with when you only run one in the space of like 2 weeks. You can do that. But we do have a show to preview. It is the Korakuen Hall show on the 30th of March. We start off with a double return. Hummingbird and Riara take on Ryoko Sakamura and Nagisa Tachibana. So this might be the start of something for somebody like Ryoko, where her and Nagisa are part of the Gravure crew. So they
Mm.
might be, a team more often. They might start getting wins. That
Big
or
HB is
Hummingbird is,
back.
yeah, Hummingbird getting built up maybe instead. Who knows?
I wonder if she remembered that she can do moves.
That is a big question. Yeah, we will have to
Yeah.
wait and
Or
see.
will she do less moves?
Maybe, maybe less. Who
That
knows?
usually happens after you get injured. You start doing a few
Yeah,
less moves. She only had a few moves, so she might
yeah.
just not do anything.
Here's hoping she does do stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably a win for Hummingbird and Riara, unless they do get behind the idol duo.
Yeah,
We then have
I hope Riara gets a win at some point. I like
yeah,
Riara; she's good.
Victoria Yuzuki and Kizuna Tanaka teaming up together again to take on Rei Sato and Manami Yuki. That is presumably a win for Selena Flora because they are the established tag team.
Maybe. Uh, I expect so. I think Kazuna's probably next up to challenge Yuzuki if they're just skipping over the Sari match entirely, which is possible because I don't know timing wise if they can do it. Um, yeah, I mean Kazuna's been kind of weird. She's been kind of not to be like weird, but she's been kind of tsundere about Yuzuki. Like she kind of brought up that she's like, yeah, I mean, like I know she wants to team with Utami now, but no, she's
Yeah,
my tag team partner.
agreed.
And it's like, oh, okay. And then like, and she's just been kind of weird. So I think we might be on our way to a uh Kazuna challenge for Yuzuki, or they challenge for the tag belts again. Also possible.
That'll be fun. Natsumi Suzuki and Chika Goto take on Chiaki and Misa Matsui. Based on the current story, this should be Goto losing to Matsui.
Hmm.
Surely, like you cannot call
Maybe.
Shozuki, or you can't call Goto a loser and then have her not lose.
I mean, no, I think she could definitely mount a comeback, but it would be her over Chiaki because I don't think she should beat Misa.
Yeah, but then I don't think you would do either. Like I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I get you.
you then have why does Chanyota get stuck with him all the time? Chanyota, Mirai, and Mikoyano versus Nagisa Nozaki, Megaton, and Gigaton. I don't know, man. This is so weird. This is silly.
I said I can handle this for another couple months, but it would be great if it just ended here. Um,
Yes.
like I'm fine with it, but
No, because
also
why are three of your stronger
move on.
wrestlers in a comedy match? Like, why is Mirai and what's Mirai doing here? What's Mikoyano doing
Uh,
here? Why is
well,
Chanyota on your shows
the
and not
problem is that
winning all the belts?
Mirai is very good at being the straight man against comedy wrestlers. Also, Mirai and Nozaki are low key feuding right now.
That's
Um,
true. They have been.
so
So
yeah,
I guess. All right. Well, that is something. The baby faces
mm,
will win because they tend to win. Um, Mai Sakurai
yeah,
defends
yeah.
the UN Championship against Arena Yamanaka. Very intrigued by this one. I think Arena could, be somebody that joins a My Sakurai faction eventually. But obviously she has only wrestled twice for Marigold so far. Looked a bit rusty. I don't even know if
Would
Best
have
Body
loved her
Japan
to
has
get.
run since
No, they
then.
haven't. Would have loved
Like,
if she got more reps in.
yeah,
I'm a bit concerned here.
yes. I think she'll be fine in a singles setting. Like maybe the tags
Yeah,
are
and
asking too much, but
it's
I
third
do
from the
think Mai
top.
Sakurai needs a lot to make her stuff click. So I'm very
It's third from the
intrigued.
top, so I'm hoping that like it's a sprint. It's a My Sakurai
Yeah,
sprint instead.
yeah,
But
because
I
like
also
Fladen
worry
is
My
stiff.
Sakurai kind of needs like to feel it out to get to a good
Yeah,
match. So I also worry that it won't be a sprint and it'll be like half baked. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
we'll see. We'll see. Bit worried, but
Um,
we'll see.
yeah,
I
we
also
have
expect this is like a you know a maybe. I kind of expect one of the Magenta girls to challenge my Sakurai. Maybe not
mm,
next, but I think Rico
possible.
is a good choice.
Yeah, no, I
Obviously
like
Maria's
Rico
too, but I think Rico would be cool. And Rico and Mai have history because they were both beginning,
and
if I'm
actress.
remembering
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Um, we then have Marigold versus Marvelous, which was then turned into a twin star championship match. This is the return of
Mm.
Seri Yamioka as she teams with Nanae Takahashi against Kumi Aroka and Senka Akatsuki.
Who?
The what?
You said her name wrong.
Is it not Senka Akatsuki?
No, no, you said Takumi Aroka.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry, it's Kumi Aroha.
Yeah.
um,
I, I'm
so
an asshole. My bad.
yeah, you are. This is the two super rookies coming together. Senka, one of the more hyped rookies from the indie scene in a while. Seri, obviously
She's
dubbed the
dope.
super rookie, given the number 18 for the company. Um, I love the difference between them in the press conference. You have Seri with the drip. I think Seri's fashion is insane. Like she just looks very powerful, lady
Mm.
boss kind of vibes. And then Senka is just there in her gear, ready to square off, and it's a real nice kind of dichotomy there. And
Yep.
I wouldn't hate Marvelous winning, not for Aroha, but for Senka. Just Senka
Yeah.
getting one over on Seri, Seri having somebody who's just genuinely better than her. I think that would be such a fascinating.
We also
path for Seri to go down.
we also talked about beforehand. I think it would be very Chigusa, to have her buddy book her star pupil to win a
Yeah,
belt
no, I think
instead of her doing it.
Nagayo will let you beat everybody in her roster, but I think she loves Senka and would be like, please just give her something. Like Takumi can lose world title matches, Maria will lose to Mai Sakurai, but give Senka something. So
They're
I
also on
would
the
love
clock
that.
with Nanae and Sari. They
That's
need to
true.
lose the belts
But
sooner
if
rather than
they
later.
do, if it is Mai and Iono challenging, I would love
Double
them to
champion?
be the ones to beat Nanae and Seri because I think Iono should be one of the ones getting pins over Nanae.
Mm,
Like Iono is one
true.
of the main
Fair.
building blocks here. Where like you have to acknowledge she is one of their better in ring workers. Like very
Yeah.
very good at
Yeah.
anything. Can win the red belt. Can win the white again. She should definitely get something over Nanai. So I think if Iono and Mai Sakurai are the next challengers, I would prefer them beating the Passion duo.
Mm.
Um, but I
I
also
don't know
I
if
don't
they're
know. I just
next, but they will be at some point. That's the thing.
yeah, I guess. But that even then, I don't think you can have them drop to Kumi and Senka
Yeah.
if you're gonna do Iono and
Um,
Sakurai. So it's probably the only
yeah,
problem.
that's true. We'll see. Oh no, I'm cool with either result here. And I'm excited for this match. I think it'll be awesome. Senka and Sari can do some really experimental, cool bullshit, and I really hope
Yeah,
they do. Because that's right. That's my speed.
yeah.
And also, I think Takumi will be really motivated to do some
Takumi and
cool stuff
Nanae
with
used to
Nanae.
absolutely kick the shit out of each
And I
other.
think
Like
I
their
think
feuding
Takumi
title
is
matches are
a
insane.
great tag wrestler. Like legitimately a
She is,
tremendous.
yeah,
Like say what you will about Mount Takumi as a singles, I think she's one of my favorites. This to be really good. Did my shit just
yeah.
yeah
You did
no
kind of, but we got your general point.
yeah.
But yeah, I need
Before
Takumi
we
to turn it on because her and Nanae they did do the damn thing.
yeah, I really hope so.
All right, back to it with our main event. Utami Hayashishita makes just the second defense of the Marigold World Championship when she takes on Bozilla in our main event. This is a pretty well built match. Bozilla pretty strong since joining the company. Has a few wins over Utami. Obviously, has been building up this pile driver kind of in the lead up to it. So I think they've set
Mm.
up enough here for Utami and her to play around with. Probably going to be a great match. I mean, Bozilla is knocking it out of the park, and Utami, since moving to Marigold, is doing some of her best work. So this will be a pretty great main event, and I assume Utami is going to retain. We don't really know Bozilla's future. We've assumed that she's still going to be available because they made her the kind of figurehead of the Darkness Revolution. There's no guarantee of that. So yeah, I think Utami likely takes this one.
Yeah, I mean I expect Utami to win. I hope this is a good start to her reign, like finally, because it's been 3 months now. Um, and I think a lot of it has just been Utami's lack of luck. Like I don't think it's on her. I think they kind of have decided that Nanai and her retirement road is the
Yeah.
key focus, and that's kind of fucked with Utami's run as a champion. Though I do expect her to get a second run down the line. That's like, and obviously her run's not done. She'll probably hold it the rest of the year, but uh, I do think that this needs to be very good, and I expect it to be very good because Utami kind of needs to like cement herself uh sooner rather than later as champion because it's about time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I expect it to be very good. I think these two have worked together greatly recently. Bozilla in Korakuen Hall is insane. She's
Hmm.
great. It's her domain. So I'm expecting this to be good. And yeah, I hope it gets Utami in the right space to move forward as the ace, the de jour ace of Marigold.
Jour Ace. That is
Yeah.
quite the statement.
I stole that from my own article that you can read. It's on
Whoa.
rightdylanright.substack.com. I wrote that.
All right. That was incredible. Applause to you. Um, I think that's the only Marigold show this coming weekend. It's the only one with a card anyway. So, I mean, we wouldn't be able to discuss much else. Um, we'll just have a look though, because their schedule is right here.
Is there
Yes.
anything
Okay.
else?
No, they don't run again until the 5th in KBS Hall. So yeah, they're gonna reset basically after this Cork and go again. Um, yeah, after this, it's kind of interesting. Like I don't think much is gonna happen because the Nanae produce on the 14th and they're running Cork again on the 25th.
Mhm.
They
And
don't
then they
run
have
a lot
one.
before then. They have a first ring show and some small shows. Like it is a very interesting
Do they have a
April.
Shinkiba? No, they have no Shinjuku face. Yeah, because I remember I talked to someone
Yeah,
about
there's
this the
just
other day.
a Kiba
Um,
on the
yeah.
12th.
So, but they have two Korokens before Glory Celebration.
And yeah, one of those is the week after the Nanai show. So it's going to be very, well, 11 days, 11 days after the Nanai show. So it's going to be very
'Cause, yeah,
weird because
there's
they're going to have to set everything up at first on the first ring show on the 12th, basically. Because they're not running again outside of the Nanai show until the 25th. So, it's an interesting month ahead. Um, Obviously, all kind of kicks into gear in May. But yeah, until then, it's still kind of chugging along, doing what it does.
yeah, I'm interested in what we're cooking up. You know, I really wish
Yeah.
we knew what the fuck this press conference was about to be.
I know. Yeah, because I'm like, it could be anything that is announced in the next 24 hours. Like, God forbid, like, I don't know, somebody is too
Somebody's
injured and has to
retiring.
vacate, or yeah, somebody is retiring, or somebody is leaving, or somebody is joining. Like, we have no idea.
That was
But
something I was thinking of. I was like, I could see them doing a press conference for the Inabas signing, but
oh, yeah,
they have just become important at their own jobs again. Uh, like Taka to say, you know what, we're going back to
they're
the
literally
basics.
never leaving
They're
that
the top
totally
stars
leaving
again.
dojo. Yeah,
Well, I mean, to be fair, like 6 months ago, it would have made sense for them to leave, but now they are back to being the top stars of the promotion, like sevenfold. Like they main event every JTO show basically.
yes.
They're both champions as far. So Zeus is still champion? I don't remember,
Those
but they're
belts change
still.
hands like every 3 days. I have no
Yeah, but
idea.
they're both very clearly like like important to JTO again. So
Yeah,
that's not happening. Um, Same thing I was thinking like, oh, maybe like Saori, but no, I don't know. None of this matters because if you're listening to this, you know what it is already.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. We're just jamming. But yeah, I think we should finish this one up. Because
Mm,
yeah, there's not much to discuss for Marigold. It's nice. I must say, I do like a company that doesn't run every weekend, twice a week. Like I appreciate that they're like, you know what, we don't have anything to do. Let's just take a week off. That is great. I like that. It keeps everything fresh.
yeah,
Even this MITO show, I was like, you know what, I like this because I haven't seen any of these wrestlers in 2 weeks. So
yeah,
I,
and
I- you know, I had a good time.
it was a fun little show. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So we're in for a good time. But yeah, the Corkins should be fun. Their Corkins are usually good, and the Marvelous stuff should hopefully kind of
Continue to
gain a
kick
new
off.
level of intrigue as well, depending on what
One thing,
wrestlers
very
appear.
random, that comes out of this Marvelous thing is you forget how many people aren't signed to Marvelous
Yeah,
because like Kyle Nagashima and Yurika Oka are so intrinsically like intrinsic to Marvelous shows and like Marvelous's culture,
yeah.
and neither of them are signed to the company. So it's like
Surely
you think
Kyle
that's
could
like
work here anyway.
I would love a Chikayo match at all here,
Yeah,
but I don't expect it. Would be really dope though.
yeah. Maybe she's one of those who doesn't like Rossi. Although I have no idea. I would have to check. But yeah.
I don't know why
Anyway,
she wouldn't. I don't know if they would even ever have
uh,
cross paths. She was a guy on Oz Academy. She
yeah, but
never
maybe
even
there was a reason for that. No,
well
who's to say?
because she was trained by Gaia and by Mimi Ozaki.
Yeah, but well, Ozaki definitely does not like Rossi. So,
Touche.
although most people don't like
Yeah,
Ozaki either, so I don't
that's
know.
yeah, that too. Yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, look,
who's to say?
yeah. We'll be back next week to discuss all of the Stardom stuff. We'll take a look at that Corkin, although it will be the day after we next record, so it's gonna be a bit weird. But we'll review like all the new blood and probably discuss the results from the Hoda show and the Wave show. Neither of them will be up, I would imagine. And then yeah, we'll review the Marigold, Korakuen
Mm.
next week. And yeah, we'll just keep eyes on WrestleMania week as well. So it is time to close the show.
And we'll talk about whatever is revealed today.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, if there's anything
Ice
news or
cold.
anything. Yeah.
But
Yeah, if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
shine forever, Stardom Quest Gold. 以上。
Yo.